Yeah, first of all, Dr. Ralf Heckner, welcome to Sikkim.
Thank you very much.
So let's start with the prime intention of your visit to the state of Sikkim, like all the way to the tiny Himalayan state right now. So what has been your prime intention or the purpose of the visit?
Well, first and foremost, Switzerland is listening to what the Indian government and the regional governments are saying and doing. So the Prime Minister has a keen interest and shows a keen interest in Northeast. He came up with a Northeast Act policy. The budget is also now more favorable to investments in Northeast with tax incentives. And the Prime Minister also visited Northeast. So we wanted to see with our own eyes what the Prime Minister's visions is and what the regional governments are trying to achieve. So we are here in Sikkim, and we will also go to Assam.
Mm-hmm. So you're basically here, as far as I read with the agenda of your purpose of visit, in fact, we got to know about the business mission, about the companies to be established in the state of Sikkim in terms of also exploring the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So would you throw a light on that aspect as well?
Yeah. I think there are two things that Switzerland can offer India, and where Swiss interests are very clear when it comes to our bilateral relations in India, and that is investments in innovation. And by the way, we are looking for the same thing when looking for Indian investors and Indian innovation. So if we talk about investments, Switzerland is the 12th biggest investor in India, but we are the 6th biggest investor in the United States of America. So you see the potential of investments that can come from Switzerland to India. We have a strong presence already when it comes to Swiss businesses on Indian soil. There are 330 Swiss businesses present in India. And from those 330 businesses, 8 are with me and my delegation here in Sikkim. So the objective is to bring Swiss businesses that are located already in India in contact with the authorities of Sikkim, and then also learn from the government about their vision for Sikkim and see where the vision of the government of Sikkim is in line with what the Swiss companies that show an interest in Sikkim can offer. And if you have a look at today's deliberations, I think there are especially two sectors where the Swiss businesses that are here and the government of Sikkim's, the interests of the government of Sikkim are aligned, and I think that is in climate adaptation and mitigation, climate de-risking, and the other one in sustainable infrastructure. So we have with us, for example, one Swiss company that is very much into the space of infrastructure, roads, and especially securing them from boulders that fall on roads and infrastructure. They are in the business of stabilizing slopes, stabilizing steep hills and mountains. And if you drive through Sikkim, you see the challenges that the road infrastructure especially is facing with a very loose kind of terrain. So that Swiss business is providing potential solutions to keep the road and railway infrastructure of Sikkim safer. When it comes to climate change, there's a Swiss insurance, a reinsurer that is working with governments.
So Sikkim and Switzerland both are supposed to be environmentally very progressive countries, and Sikkim is a very progressive state in India. So what do you think, what are the main region of collaboration for Switzerland and Sikkim in terms of environmental preservation and research on environment, the fragile environment of the Himalayas?
So the Swiss Development Agency is already working with the government of Sikkim, and they are very much into climate mitigation and climate adaptation as well. And that is all based on research, meaning research, how can you preserve an environment like Sikkim and at the same time develop economically. Otherwise, I think we can learn a lot from Sikkim, because I have seen that Sikkim is now into the organic food production, for example. You banned plastic bottles. So there are things that Switzerland can learn from Sikkim. You improved on your forestry surface of forests in Sikkim. So this is a two-way street. It's not only that we try to come in with potential solutions, but we are also on a learning curve here in Sikkim. Yes, please.
Okay. You met the Chief Minister yesterday.
Today, yeah.
Today,
yes.
Yeah. So during the course of your interaction with the Chief Minister, what were the key areas that were discussed?
First and foremost, it was a very good and productive meeting. And I'm not just saying that. I had the pleasure to meet many chief ministers, and this was definitely a productive meeting. We had a short interaction on what the key priorities are for the chief minister. And then each of the Swiss businesses had had time to present their case to the chief minister, and the chief minister was then directing the different administrative units to see where there is a potential for collaboration. And then in the afternoon, we had a meeting with the administration and different secretaries of the government, and could then follow up on the meeting with the chief minister. I had a very good impression of a person that is very much hands-on and a very practical and pragmatic politician. So it was very much in line how we try to be as Swiss. You have an issue and you try to solve a problem. That was the spirit in the meeting today.
So this is the first time that the Swiss government is showing their presence in the state earlier.
Yes. I'm also ambassador to Bhutan. And Bhutan and Sikkim, Assam, this is your neighborhood, and I think whatever we do on the Indian side or on the Bhutanese side has potentially a beneficial effect on Bhutan or the Indian states in northeast. So this is one thing, and as an ambassador, you know, I'm interested to learn more about all the realities in India, and I learned that this was one of the regions that was economically not really a focus, and now to learn that there is developing happening here, and that there is a vision to link your region to the rest of Asia, Thailand, Myanmar, Malaysia, etc., was quite intriguing.
So India is also following the policy of Act East right now, and the Northeast is a focus for central government as well. So how do you see Swiss investment and Swiss presence in Northeast in context of India's Act East policy?
Yeah, that is exactly what I would like to assess now here. For that reason, we are on a fact-finding mission, but we are a little bit more than a fact-finding mission, because I'm already here with Swiss businesses that potentially have an interest in the region. So it's not only that I come and have a look, we are coming, and the Swiss businesses can have a first-hand appreciation of what Sikkim, or then the next days Assam are heading towards.
So both Switzerland and Sikkim, the economy is largely based on tourism. I mean, as far as tourism is concerned now. So is this area is also being exploited, or considered to expand some tourism-related businesses here?
Yes, we had a discussion on that. There's also one business that could be beneficial to Sikkim when it comes to tourism. It is a Swiss business that is providing services. For example, the service to assess the qualities of hotels. And if you would like to go into more into tourism, it is important that for the different tourist segments you can provide the right kind of hotel or guest house. That is something that was discussed today, and I see also a huge potential for Sikkim's tourism because of the new railway infrastructure. We also had one business here that is very much in the space of railway infrastructure, already working with the India Railway on that. And if you have a look at Switzerland, Switzerland's tourism grew thanks to a very good railway network that was established between 1850 and 1914. And that was also the time when Switzerland's tourism was developed with different categories of hotels, but especially also five-star hotels that brought the rich British customers and tourists to Switzerland. So the foundations for more tourism in Sikkim, I see them.
So I just have two brief questions now from my side. The first is like, since Sikkim is an organic state, so can we look forward for a collaboration in terms of the agriculture sector between Switzerland and Sikkim in future?
Organic food is definitely something that the Swiss consumer is looking for. So there are retailers in Switzerland that are very much sourcing organic food. And the Swiss business I was talking about is also in the testing and certifying space, meaning certifying organic food, so that the customer knows that the food that is being grown is also coming from Sikkim and is organically produced.
So and then the collaboration is just with the mega companies, or we can also look for like collaboration between the startups, you know, like the Switzerland is going to support the startups which are actually mushrooming in the state of Sikkim.
Yeah. We just launched a so-called startup bridge between Switzerland and India at the World Economic Forum in Davos, together with Invest India. I'm happy to look into this as well. We are very mindful of the fact that India is a country with a lot of young entrepreneurs. Today you call them startups, and that a lot of ideas, commercial ideas, are coming up through the startup ecosystem.